that loss of sound, but back we are right here on Business Today. My name is Malika Kazia. A very warm welcome to the program. Now, before we get right into our top stories today, let's have a look at the markets. Starting with the money markets, the dollar buying rate is 100 shillings and 82 cents. It's selling at 101 shillings and 2 cents. As for the sterling pound, buying at 132.60 shillings, selling at 132.90. For the euro, buying at 116.75, selling at 117 shillings and 1 cent. NSE performance now, turnover is at 274 million. As for the share traded, it stands at 12.9 million. The NSE 20 share index as of now is at 2,782.97. Bonds traded 820 million. Now for the most active stock, we have Safaricom with 8.47 million, followed by KCB with 1.11 million. Kenol Kobil at 676,800 there, and Equity Bank 358,700. On to the winning stock, Everready going up at 9.09% to trade at 1 shilling 20 cents. Mumyas Sugar is trading at 70 cents. That's gone up 7.69%. Kenya Orchards has also gone up by 6.98% to trade at 2 shillings and 30 cents. And as for Safaricom, it has also taken a hike of 6.74% to trade at 23 shillings 75 cents. Now the losing stocks there, we're starting off with the National Bank that has actually gone down by 7.77% to trade at 4 shillings and 75 cents. Well, those were your markets for you, and let's have our Twitter poll question now. What are we asking you? Well, what sort of support can SMEs get to grow their businesses? What sort of support can SMEs get to grow their businesses? What do you have to say? Let us know at KTN News, at Malika Kazia. Our hashtag is KTN Business, and we'd love to hear more from you on Twitter. Starting off with our top story, small traders want the government to improve road infrastructure, boost electricity connection in major urban markets, and ease taxes to promote small-scale businesses in the country. Now, this emerged at the ongoing SME roundtable presided over by President Uhuru Kenyatta at Strathmore University. Here were some of the pledges made at the forum. Take a look.
If we support our local cooperatives and SACCOs, and the local entrepreneurs are guided and advised to go to the cooperatives and SACCOs, they are well interrelated, they are near the common mwananchi, so they can be able to go and buy machines, or they can be led by those SACCOs, which they themselves can join easily by contributing 150 on daily basis or weekly basis. Our government do something. The other thing is to protect MSE from exploiting financials. This arise because some of our businesses, entrepreneurs, they are not capable to go and borrow loans. If the government can do something better to SACCOs, they channel money to SACCOs. Members can do better. For example, I give an example by Gikomba. Our president, our deputy president, and the governor, you are here. Gikomba, there are some people who come out from their homes without even a coin in their pocket. And they know they can do business. In the morning, there are people on strategic process with their money, with a book. If you come in the morning, 10,000, 2,000, 4,000. In the evening, you return the money with a huge profit. that money is handed to you in a month's time, my brother, my sister, you will die with nothing. The profit margin of silos is too high. But if the SACCOs have the money down to the common mwananchi, they will benefit a lot. Finally, Mr. President, I want to bring about the market channels. My governor is here. We who are doing business within Nairobi area, there should be exhibition expo for people doing business within Nairobi. Let's one day, one street is closed for entrepreneurs who are within Nairobi to advertise their goods. That will make Kenyans know there are things produced within our country, within our Nairobi region, within town city. Our governor, our president, do it to our consideration. Last but not least, in the same markets, and particularly, Your Excellency, you promised us last year there will be a groundbreaking on December in our Quarter Road market after the fire that happened on 2014. Up to today, our president, men and women who are business people, who can do much, they fear, if I put my 100,000 in that business, if I put my 50,000 in that business, what will next happen at night? In case fire. The other thing, drainage system. If it rains, all the stock is carried away by the water. Because those who are affected by the fire, they are still outside, doing business outside. Our president, kindly request, you promised us a ultra-modern market. Welcome to Gikomba. Any of your time, please, welcome, visit Gikomba. Gikomba ndani kabisa, sio nje, kuja ndani kabisa kwetu. Ujione vile wafanyabiashara wako wanateseka.
Ile mlipigia kura. Article 40, sub-article 4 of the Kenyan Constitution empowers you as traders kufanya biashara bila harassment, na kama kuna kitu county government ama national government wanataka barabara, the law is very clear. Kama there is any compulsory acquisition we want to acquire, either it's a road reserve, a building, a structure, you have to be compensated before we relocate you, or we show you mahali gani munaenda. But pia tukubaliane na nyinyi wafanye biashara. Nairobi is an international city. Development lazima ifanyike. Barabara lazima tujenge. But mimi, Nairobi City County, last week, I'm on record nikisema all demolitions za kiosks, za traders, za masoko, tulisimamisha. Hiyo sisi tulisimamisha. Lakini tunasema barabara kupita lazima, development ifanywe. Sisi tumesema hivi kama serikali, mkuje, tukubaliane, tuwaondoe, barabara ipite. Then, barabara ikipita, tunaweza kuwaregesha kwa njia maybe ya kuweka modern stalls, modern sheds. Tuko na budget na hiyo pesa. The chairman from Gikomba who came here, Your Excellency, Ali raised a very genuine concern. Markets, land grabbing, na mambo mingi. But all these things, Your Excellency, zilifanyika during the previous administration. I don't want to politicize this meeting, Your Excellency, but during the previous administration, Your Excellency, corruption was rampant, land grabbing was rampant. Anchama nimekusikia, but ile mambo unasema 80% tumefanya within 1 year. All the grabbed public utilities we have already repossessed. Nikianzia kuna trader moja wa Shauri Moyo Kamukunji amesema tutafute shamba Shauri Moyo. Shauri Moyo we cannot get 5 acres. But Your Excellency, under the NAMSIP World Bank program, under our partnership between the national government and the county government, there is Mwariro Market, ambayo my first months in office, Your Excellency, tulipata, there was an allocation that was granted by World Bank of 8 billion Kenya shillings for doing markets, for doing modern fire stations, Your Excellency. But 5 years down the line, hakuna project ambayo ilifanyika. Na pesa ilikuwa imetoka ya masoko, watu wameanza ufisadi, pesa ya data center, vijana wetu wa IT wapate kazi. Na tulipoingia kwa ofisi, Your Excellency, after perusing the records, tulipata hii pesa. And I want to thank you and your deputy, because the first program, the first project, your data center, Nairobi City County, we invited you and you came and we launched that project.
Definitely a lot of emotions running high there. But now let's cross over to Julie Owino, who'll be telling us more about the plight of small traders.
Yes, Malika, we've had a conference on small, medium enterprises where we have entrepreneurs from different sectors, that is livestock, we have from textile industry, we have from the fisheries industries, who all came up here to address some of the problems that they have as the industries and what are some of the things they need done to them by the government. And we are also able to see that today the president himself was able to be in this place and has talked about some of the challenges they're facing and is promised to come back in this very place in 1 month's time to actually address this issue. But right now I am joined by Dr. Mungai from Strathmore University, who is going to give us a deep insight about how the conference has been. Thank you so much, Dr. Mungai. If you can probably tell us, this has been a 2-conference day and you've been here. What is your highlight of this conference?
Well, so this event, first of all, is a forum that the university has offered to bring the SMEs together, as you mentioned, so that we can capture the issues that concern them. And this is obviously based on the fact that we as a university, we are an entrepreneurial university, so we engage with entrepreneurs over from the small size to the biggest. So we realize that the issues that they affect these entrepreneurs, and we thought we can create a forum where the government and SMEs can engage, identify these issues and resolve them. So yesterday, we broke down the groups into the particular sectors they're coming from, and they divided those issues that are critical for the government to resolve. And today they have been able to present them before His Excellency the President, and then they have got a commitment that things will get done.
All right. Dr. Mungai, don't you think it's quite sad that we wait for things to get bad and that's when we start getting solutions? Because some of the problems that have also been addressed, like Kikomba, those are some of the traders that have really cried about the issues they've been facing, and now it seems things are so bad. Is it that we've developed a culture of waiting it to get so bad and then that's when we start getting possible solutions to solve these problems?
Well, as the President has mentioned, surely that is a big challenge because decisions have been made, but for one reason or the other, they have not been implemented. But I better say that also the entrepreneurs recognize that there are some things the government has done. Okay, so it is true that like the copper market, there is an issue that's outstanding, but you know, the 40% access for SMEs is already there. We have the Huduma centers that are so there are some things the government is doing, but I think, as you mentioned, there are some decisions that are critical, which is what the President has said that should have been done even yesterday, and that's why he has committed to come to make sure that those issues are now done. And I think the second thing to follow is that this forum has achieved something that even the President has been looking for. That is a forum where he can be engaging with SMEs on a regular basis. So these are one-off. And I think as we go the way that he has said, then we'll see getting things done as commitments take place.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mungai. And also to my father's end, I'm also joined by Shiro. Yes, Waithaka. If you can tell us, funding challenges has been one of the greatest topics in this discussion today. So what do you think is one of the main ways that needs to be concentrated on in terms of credit, giving credit to traders?
Thank you. This has been a phenomenal 2 days. We're so excited. A revolution is happening. We're excited the President has been here and his deputy, and it's only the beginning. Honestly, in my opinion, as an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur all my working life. The biggest challenge is the disconnect or misunderstanding of the entrepreneurs, MSEs, SMEs, and the banking or financial institutions. Today, they've been challenged, the president as well has been challenged to come down to where we actually operate from. And when we say we cannot deliver goods at a specific time or day, it is because of the infrastructural challenges. When we say we're not able, we had a wonderful conversation yesterday and we were told that we need to be bankable. Yes, we know this. We're told that we operate with M-Pesa, which is fantastic for us. It's a game changer in our businesses. We're told we must bank it in the bank before we take it out to make payments to another supplier. The reality on the ground is that once you put your money, whether it's a pay bill or an M-Pesa, by the time you get it out from your bank or Safaricom system, there's a delay. We need to pay our deliveries on the spot. A person has brought you timber, you need to pay them on the spot, not tomorrow or after 2 weeks. If they came and understood the challenges we have, we can collectively come up with the solutions that are unique to the reality on the ground. All they need to do, the government has been challenged by the president to take off their suits. We challenge the banks again, take off your suits, wear your sneakers, wear your gumboots. Come and see us, come through the trenches. Come and sit with us as we're working, see power going off where we then have to buy diesel on the spot, unplanned. Then you say we don't have business plans that we follow to the T. Yeah, it's not possible. The environment is extremely volatile. Come work with us. Let's ride this wave together because Kenya is destined for greatness only if we work together.
All right. You're a carpenter and you also shared your story of how you faced challenges from some of the government officials who are trying to evict you from a place that you've been there for quite some time. Probably there's some other entrepreneurs who have gone through the same thing. What is that one thing that you'd wish for the government to ensure that once an entrepreneur has established a certain place and they've done all the right things they need to do to ensure this place is safe, they don't come to encounter such a thing that you encountered before?
So like I teased and asked the president to create a sticker or a banner or a post that says protected by the government. If we don't get protection by government and so shoutingly, then this is going to keep happening. It's not right. It happens to many. It has happened generations. It's a bad vice we have as a country and it needs to stop. If you're genuine, it needs to stop. But I'd urge all entrepreneurs going through the same thing. We're not the first. We won't be the last. But raise up your voices. Come together. Form organizations. I sit on the board of CAM, Kenya Association of Manufacturers as well. Come together. Walking this journey alone is extremely hard. I've met the most amazing people from Ngong Road, from Kamukunji, from Kariobangi today. Come together, form a bigger union, stronger voice, and let's fight the vices in this country. Because there's also really, really good that's being done. There's some good arms of government, and I must say that. But there's some evil and there's some rot that together we can fight.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Malika, as you've heard, this is one of the greatest contributors to the country's economy, and this is a good day for them, but most of them have actually admitted that it is good for the president to come here, face them, and say that he's going to work on this at a certain time. Over to you in studio, Malika.
Thank you very much, Julie. They're telling us more about SMEs and things that they do go through, and of course that gathering there. Well, moving on, the government is ambitious that 200,000 houses will be built by 2022. This having come out during the second urban dialogue on delivering affordable housing. The Nairobi County Governor highlighted some developments and challenges on delivering the affordable housing, mentioning areas where the plan commences. Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has called on the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to have a meeting with the Nairobi County government to map out flight paths that belong to the airport to ensure that concurrence on projects is present.
Affordable housing means that houses will be sold from between 300,000 and 3 million shillings. We are negotiating a 30%, 30-70% ratio with developers, where every project must have at least 70% houses under 3 million shillings. I'm calling on the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to call a meeting of the Nairobi City County Government, the Department of Defense, and Ministry of Transport to clearly map out the flight paths. Nairobi City County Government has also embarked on a master plan that will see upgrading of several slums in the city. Uhuru slum has already been declared a special planning area, which will allow the county government to provide much needed infrastructure for the residents. We also plan to construct modern housing at the Mji wa Huruma slum.
Well, in a bid to widen the wanting intra-country trade in Africa, former Vice Chairman of the African Union is urging African countries to implement the Free Trade Pact to ease trade among African countries. Intra-African trade is estimated to rank between 12 to 15%, coming distant to intra-European trade, which stands at 60%. Our reporter Abubakar Abdullahi caught up with the diplomat on the sidelines of the 4th Annual Tax Summit. Let's listen in.
With the changing dynamics of global trade and intra-trade, and more so in Africa, how are African countries trading with one another? And what is the area of improvement? Joining us to discuss further on that and matters intra-trade and inter-Africa trade, of course, relations, is Ambassador Erastus Mwenche, who is the former Vice Chairman of the African Union. Ambassador, thanks for talking to us here on KTN News.
Thank you very much.
Intra-trade Africa stands, as you said, ranging between 12 to 15%, lower than any other country's relations regionally. What can be done to achieve a robust intra-African trade?
Three things. One is to encourage more integration of the continent, and that requires that we remove barriers to our own intra-African trade. At the moment, when you trade between African countries, we charge each other almost 12%. But when Africa trades with the rest of the world, we only charge about 8% average tariffs, which means we have given more weight to foreign trade than intra-African trade. Yet, if you look at trade statistics, when we trade with each other, it is more manufactured goods, which means with manufactured goods, you add more value, you create more employment. And so what it means, we must now run away from that foreign trade where we export primary products and commodities, encourage our own intra-African trade, which we can add value. Of course, there are obstacles to that.
There are those who are proponents of calling for an exemption of tariffs. Do you agree with that, and what do you think about that?
Meaning what?
Like exemption in terms of allowing free trade in the area.
Yeah, if you are talking about free trade, the word free means that the trade tariffs are exempted. But that doesn't mean, and talking about this within the confines of Kenya Revenue Authority, you see, you can shift from frontier taxes, tariffs, to consumption taxes like VAT, customs, excise duty. And statistics have always shown that when you are expanding the economy, you collect more revenue than frontier taxes, which comes with a lot of challenges because you discourage exports, you discourage imports, and you discourage expansion of the economy.
When we talk of Africa's economy, there is often the gap between knowing the hard economic realities and also being overly ambitious. There is a claim that our governments are overly ambitious, not eyeing the hard economic realities. Do you agree with that?
I am not even sure that they are ambitious enough, because if you look at the demographic scenario of the continent, you have a population of over 60% being youth that are under 25 years old. If you look at the number of graduates coming out of universities, we are not absorbing them enough. And yet our economy has also remained more or less stagnant. In fact, some of the sectors, the food sector, where even per capita production is gone down. Industrial sector has kind of declined, particularly under the structural adjustment. So we need to go back and really step up, ramp up our enthusiasm and our support for us to have a vibrant economy if we are going to survive in terms of our own security, but also stability.
It's good that you talked of survival, which begs the question, what kind of a challenge does the Trumpism era that you talked about, the new dynamics in trade, pose for Africa?
What Trumpism has exploited is the challenges of trade and also migration, where as countries trade, there comes a time that certain economy must give up certain sectors because of either labor costs or change of technology. US has come to that junction. And instead of being magnanimous and accept to cede some of it, he is fighting back to say any American investment abroad is exporting jobs abroad. But yes, some of those investments are looking for either labor or market. And that's a natural flow of trade. Secondly, taking advantage of migration. US is a country of migrants. But migration, there has always been about 3% of the population globally that move around. Europe has shown that even when they reached a point where they allowed free movement of people within the European Union, you didn't have the Spaniards all move to the northern part of it.
Ambassador, I understand we are out of time. As we conclude, you are, of course, the former vice chairman of the African Union, a career diplomat, I believe, a man who has seen the continent through his eyes. What will you tell the African heads of state when it comes to enhancing the intra-trade cooperation between African countries?
I think we have seen a very good move. In March this year, the continent signed a continental free trade area. 49 countries signed. Even those who didn't sign, they have again pledged they are going to sign. About 8 have already ratified. We have seen the statistics indicate that as soon as that enters into force, there will be an addition of $16 billion US dollars, simply because of that signature. Then we can also see the dynamics of it that will bring in investment. So I think the answer is now, let's move to reform, but also implement that which we declare at our summits.
Ambassador, thanks for talking to us here on KTN News.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, Malik there, the former vice chairman of the African Union, talking to us matters intra-trade and how that can be enhanced between African countries, painting a somewhat bright future in terms of Africans trading among themselves. From me, Abubakar Abdullahi, back to you, Malik, in the studios.
Thank you very much, Abubakar Abdullahi there, telling us more. And let's now get to our Twitter poll question, which was, what sort of support can SMEs get to grow their businesses? At KTN News, at Malika Kazia, hashtag KTN Businesses, how you can tell us what your thoughts are. And as you can see, some of you have been, of course, telling us what you think. Toxic Musasi says, by identifying the main challenges that are faced by SMEs, goes on to say, after addressing financial and operational challenges, an SME begins to face challenges concerning marketing and selling their products. We've also got Martin Washera there saying that the government should stop local borrowing so that banks can offer people loans. Tax duty on its items should be lowered in order to attract customers from neighboring countries. Do keep on telling us what your thoughts are on Twitter. And for now, we're going to take a short commercial break here on Business Today. But stay with us. We'll be right back.